This president, since he took office in the year and a half that he's been here, has created 700,000 new jobs for African Americans. President Trump, in his first year and a half, has already tripled what President Obama did in 8 years. The president in no way, form or fashion has ever promoted or encouraged violence. If anything, quite the contrary.
Is the official White House position that all of these women are lying?
Yeah, we've been clear on that from the beginning.
Yeah, remember her? Yep. That was the twice impeached, disgraced former president's press secretary, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, saying things that aren't true and smearing the many women who accused Trump of sexual harassment or assault. Ah, memories. Roughly 3 years later, Sanders, following in her daddy's Huckabee footsteps, is looking for a new gig as the governor of Arkansas. Next week, Arkansas Republicans will get to choose between her and some guy who thinks that she's not conservative enough because she's endorsed a senator who said that Joe Biden won the election. If she wins her primary, which is what most Arkansas watchers expect, she will face off against one of 5 Democratic candidates. The front runner among the Democrats is Chris Jones, a 7th-generation Arkansan who happens to be an ordained minister and a physicist, a literal rocket scientist. This past Sunday, the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette endorsed Jones in the Democratic primary, calling him one of the most impressive candidates we've seen in years. Joining me now is physicist, minister, and Democratic candidate for governor of Arkansas, Dr. Chris Jones. Dr. Chris Jones, thank you much for being here. So I read through the endorsement that the Arkansas Democrat Gazette put in, and they talked about the fact that it's a long shot for any Democrat to try to win statewide in Arkansas. But they said stranger things have happened because they praised you as an outstanding candidate and a real Arkansan. How do you beat someone like Sarah Huckabee Sanders, who's number one, well known, she has high name recognition, and she's also willing to flagrantly lie?
Yeah, well, first of all, Joy, thanks for having me on your show. It's great to be here among fellow nerds. Look, it's going to take faith, hope, and hard work. That's what it's really going to take. And I'm a 7th-generation Arkansan, and I know for a fact that when you engage Arkansans authentically, they can get past what should be the path that they take. And that's what we've been doing. I've traveled the state, hit all 75 counties. And I'll tell you that we have been to places where they haven't seen a Black person in a very long time. And the conversations have been great because people want good education, good infrastructure, and great jobs. So that's how we're going to win this race.
You know, it's interesting that you say that because, the thing about Democrats is that Democrats tend to, hang in the cities and sort of give up on, in a lot of ways on voters they think are going to be resistant, rural voters, white voters, rural voters. How do you approach those conversations? Because you're right. No matter where people live or where they're from, other than the people who are really QAnon and really, not all here, people do generally want the same stuff.
They do. It doesn't matter. So, look, we were in Marianna today. It's East Arkansas, really small town, and went there and went to a senior citizens home. We were talking about healthcare. We were talking about education. We were talking about infrastructure. I went to a place called Harrison, Arkansas, which is formerly a sundown town, and went into a restaurant and 50 people gave us a standing ovation. Why? Because they want to choose faith, hope, and hard work over fear, hate, cronyism. And that's what we're offering Arkansans. And I'll tell you, it's working.
Are people election deniers that you're talking to? Do they believe that Biden is the president, or is that an issue that they're voting on? Is it stuff like that? And things like abortion? What do people tell you about stuff like that?
Yeah, so you get a mix. I mean, there is certainly a small portion of individuals who are election deniers and who really want to drive towards this weird world where neighbors are vigilantes. However, the lion's share of folks that we engage, I met a guy in Louisville, Arkansas, real South Arkansas, named Jim. Cutoff shirt, hat on, the kind of guy that you would never think would support Chris Jones for governor. Tapped him on the shoulder. We were at Sterling's restaurant. And I said, Jim, how's it going? I'm running for governor, and my name's Chris Jones. And we talked for a second, and within 30 seconds, he said, I just want my roads fixed. That's it. Yeah. So then we talked about infrastructure, and that was the inroads. So look, I'll tell folks, if we don't ask for the vote, and by the way, Joy, I asked Sarah Sanders herself if she would vote for me, and she said maybe.
Okay, nerd time, because I can't have you here. I know my rocket scientist friend. Here's a piece of your ad. It's called Skywalker. Here it is.
When I was a kid, growing up in Pine Bluff, Arkansas, I dreamed of going to space, of adventures on other worlds. But just as all great stories remind us to search inward for our strength, I realized my true inspiration was my own childhood in Arkansas, where space to play, space to explore, and space to learn made anything seem possible.
Greetings, Skywalker. I have to show you this massive, supermassive black hole that was recently found. I'm obsessed with it. Yes. There it is. And of course, it's named after the best star sign, Sagittarius. It's called SJRA because Sagittarius is rule the universe. My question to you, sir.
I'm a Libra over here.
Don't even try me. Oh, okay, number one, how cool is the black hole? And number two, are UFOs real? Tell me now.
Super cool and absolutely. But look, what I want to tell you is folks really need to go to ChristForGovernor.com and find out more about our campaign, because we're excited about the future of Arkansas, but we are facing Trump 2.0. Yeah. And we're at real risk of that cancer being spread across the state, across the country. And we have to stop it now. So I'm asking folks to lean in and go to ChristForGovernor.com and help us stop it now and make history in the process, because I will be the first nominee, African-American nominee of any major party here in Arkansas for statewide office.
You know what's amazing? The way that you know that even though you are not a veteran politician, but a good politician always asks for the vote and remembers to give how to contact me. You did both of those things, my friend. So best of luck to you. We will be watching to see how things turn out. Thank you so much for spending some time with us and talking nerd stuff with me, because I got to get the nerd stuff in.
Always nerd stuff.
Thank you. Chris Jones, thank you very much. Appreciate you. And that is tonight's ReidOut.